What's up with it, guys? Hey, we are back with another video. Now this is going to be a relatively quick one. We're just going to go through the current live patch 8.1 changes are going live today, so I'm sure all you marksman hunters are super stoked. The patch is going to be up in a handful of hours after the time of actually this video going live, so you can expect a lot more content with these new changes. Been kind of waiting for this, so I'm really stoked these are going through. But let's go through this real quick. The generic hunter change I wanted to mention here is there's new pets that I guess we're going to be able to tame. Don't know what that is exactly, so it'll, we'll have to see exactly what that is. It doesn't tell us explicitly right here, but I will definitely be making some videos on that when I kind of get that all figured out. Couple things regarding Azurite Rates. There's one here that we get for exhilaration, increasing the health and reducing the cooldown. So that'll be really good for PvP situations. That's kind of more the angle I'm focused on, really, is PvP for marksmen. So if I say that a lot, I apologize. But surging shots is replacing as a new Azurite trait, replacing Arcane Flurry. I'm a little bummed. I really was stoked on Arcane Flurry. Reading these patch notes initially, I thought that there was going to be a lot of good synergies with the changes that they were making into this Azurite trait. So I'm a little bummed they're taking it away, but it's okay. Rapid fire damage will increase per shot fired. This damage starts lower, increases per shot of rapid fire. Aim shot has a 15% chance to reset the cooldown of rapid fire. So that's going to be really interesting. I definitely think you're going to want to have one of those. So that way you at least have that chance to reset and get like a rapid fire, aim shot, rapid fire type burst combo. Will be interesting to see. Down here at Marksman, the overall changes, I'm not going to touch on the other specs, but just for Marksman, aim shot damage increased to 20% by 20%. And you don't have that 50% bonus damage right there in the opener if the target had not been hit. So I actually really like this because in PvP, it was very rare you got that 50% bonus damage. So 20% damage on our aim shot will be clutch. It'll be really, really good. This will also make up for the fact that lethal shots does not have that auto crit component like it used to, which I'll talk about in a second. But this will help kind of make up so we still have that big burst. Even if you do want to continue running steady aim, like 3 stacks of steady aim, your aim shots will still be hitting very hard. So anyway, we'll see exactly how that plays out as far as the numbers go when we get into some battlegrounds. Arcane shot damage increased 25%, pretty self-explanatory. Bursting shot, the snare has been upped from 4 seconds up to 6. It can no longer be dodged or blocked, and the knockback range is further. How much further, we'll have to see when the patch goes live, but that's a really, really good change for us in PvP. Disengage can now be cast while channeling rapid fire, and it won't cancel rapid fire. So this is a big one because the way that I believe rapid fire is supposed to now work, we'll see when this goes live, but they were initially intending on making it where you could continue channeling as people LOS'd you as long as you got the initial cast off. It doesn't say anything in here that they're making that change, but I do believe that is what the intention is. So we'll see. We'll have to see when it goes live. Either way, being able to disengage while casting rapid fire is still going to be really good for us in PvP situations because you end up getting stuck in situations where you're having to pick between damage and mobility if you've already started the cast, and it ends up being a pain. So this is a really good change, quality of life change for us in PvP. Explosive shot, nothing too exciting, but they're basically making the AoE occur around the target rather than in a weird double click skill shot. So that'll be really good, a lot simpler and easy to use, actually viable. Lethal shots now is going to make our arcane shot and multi shot have a 20% chance to reduce rapid fire cooldown by 5 seconds. So if you have lethal shots and you're running that trait that I talked about, this one, surging shots, you're going to be constantly having these things resetting rapid fires, so you'll be able to be getting a lot of rapid fires off. Not to mention if that change is going through that I mentioned about being able to line of sight, that'll also be really, really huge. Lone Wolf basically just takes less time to ramp up now, nothing too crazy. Multi-shot damage is increased by 25%, and the radius is increased to 10 yards up from 8. So this is a nice change. I hope this is enough to make it so we can use multi-shot more reliably in PvP. I don't think it's going to be, but this is just really nice for kind of our AoE for mythic pluses, things like that. Our AoE is definitely a little bit lackluster as marksmen, so this is a good change. Piercing shot now ignores armor, and the bonus is reduced, piercing shot now ignores armor, cannot be blocked. I kept misreading this. Precise shots, piercing shot, precise shots. Piercing shot, now ignore armor can't be blocked. Got it. So that's a big buff for us in PvP. I personally don't run piercing shot too much, but I can see it being really good for RBGs. So this will be an interesting to see ignore armor and how much bonus damage that's going to give us. We'll have to see. Precise shots bonus reduced to 75 was 100. So precise shots is the passive that we have after aim shot, increasing the next 1 or 2 casts or damage of our arcane shot or multi-shot. So this is kind of helping compensate for the arcane shot bonus. Basically though, with this, our AoE is going to still be really strong. That's why multi-shot and arcane shot damage was increased. Precise shots was decreased. So if we're having to cast these out of those precise shot buffs, we'll have overall a little bit increased damage. However, we'll make that a little less bursty, kind of, I guess you could say. Serpent Sting damage up from 15%. We'll see. I don't like running this on Marksmen, so I don't know if 15% is enough for me to want to add that into my rotation, but we'll have to see. Maybe it is worthwhile DPS-wise. Steady shot now increases the duration of concussive shot by 3 seconds. That was also in the initial patch notes. Streamline, additional rapid fire duration increased to 20% was 30. So this is a nerf to the streamline talent. However, they are doing a lot of things to buff streamline, and I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing, because what was happening is the duration of the actual channel was pretty long itself. So they're reducing that duration a little bit, which is okay, because if we're going to have it up more consistently, having the shorter duration is not that big a deal, as long as we have all these other ways of having it continually up, and these Azurite traits really synergizing well. Trick shots, additional damage increased to 50% was 40. I honestly can't even think of what trick shots is off the top of my head without, I don't have game up. So ignore that one. I don't know what that is exactly, and I'm sure that's gonna be something really obvious and stupid when I go look in the spell book. But Trueshot Redesigned, this is a really big deal. It is going to reduce the cooldown of our aim shot and rapid fire, and it reduce the cast time of aim shot while it is up. It was also supposed to be lowered from a 3-minute cooldown to a 2-minute cooldown, which will be huge if that is the case. That lines up much better with trinkets and things like that. Much better for PvP that you don't have this big long cooldown, in my opinion. So we'll have to see. It doesn't mention anything about the cooldown, or the cooldown of the ability being reduced, but that was at least initially in the design, in the patch notes. So let's cross our fingers on that one. Volley now has a greater chance to proc, does less damage. This is kind of stupid because no one uses volley anyway, and the damage is already really low. So we'll have to see. Anyways, on that note, I will be definitely getting some new 8.1 Marksman Hunter content up for you guys. I'm super stoked on this patch. Hopefully you guys are as well. Let me know down below what Azurite trait combinations you guys are running with all these changes, and what's going to be kind of the new strong builds. I'm really looking forward to mixing up some Azurite traits and having some new fun play styles for Marksman. So on that note, I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.